In this video, I'll be discussing lots of interesting little things that can be found in a narcissist's cell phone and go into some detail on how these things are used, of course, to the complete advantage of the narcissist to ensure a lot of supply. So let's get started with some of the most obvious apps and things you're going to find in their phone, and that is the social media apps and all of the social media profiles. Highly toxic and narcissistic people will typically always have more than one profile. These are what I call like dummy accounts or private accounts. They have an account for their artwork or like for their dog or something like that doesn't really need another profile made about it. And maybe at some point they even did create these profiles with the intention of using it for that, but it very quickly becomes about finding other sources of supply. You may or may not know about these profiles. Again, like I say, they may have initially been created for different intentions, but in the end, they get used to watch and stalk other people who might have them blocked on their main account, and of course, to talk to new people who they might be able to draw in. They might even delete their main account if they're asked to by their partner or what have you, and they'll say, look, it doesn't matter to me. I don't even have social media. I deleted it. It's not a big deal. And they'll continue to work off of those private accounts, dummy accounts, whatever you want to call it. Additionally, they can make new accounts or use the dummy accounts to relentlessly hoover you. They make new email addresses, new accounts using fake names, different photos, and the like to keep watching. And as I said, of course, when the supply runs low, they'll make themselves known to people from time to time as they hoover off of these secondary accounts. Other people describe a hate for social media, and some narcissists proclaim they don't have any. This may be true, but for those with high levels of narcissism, I don't know. Social media, to me, as far as somebody like that would be concerned, I don't know how they could pass up the temptation. Just so much potential to be able to hoover and watch and stalk and bring in new supply, a whole new slew of people to be able to lie to and get under their spell. I guess maybe for some, I guess they do hate social media and don't have it, but I think that is quite in the minority. I've also noticed that highly narcissistic people who need massive amounts of attention and supply, of course, they have every texting app known to like mankind. They have TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook Messenger and Discord, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram, every single way you can think of to reach out to somebody. I mean, they have it. And also, all the secondary accounts have those abilities to be able to message. So they have 3 ways to talk on Twitter because they have 3 profiles. Maybe 1 or 2 of them you know about and 1 you don't. They have 2 accounts on Instagram or TikTok to be able to talk to people. It's literally all these people do is type and talk and type and type and type away. And if a narcissist or really toxic person finds themselves particularly attractive, you'll see another glaring red flag when you see the photos of them everywhere. And they send you pictures and everyone else pictures every day, all day long. They're staring at themselves in the cell phone while they endlessly selfie and they have them posted. They're also like just always from the same angle and shit, which I don't know. I just find funny. But there's like 5,000 pictures of them on social media, all looking into the camera the same way, the same pose, the same everything. Now, some of them are more like this than others. We do have to keep in mind that not everything on this list or any list I have, it doesn't necessarily explain every person with high levels of narcissism and narcissistic tendencies. The person or people that you know that maybe you're having issues with may or may not do all of these things. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are narcissistic or aren't narcissistic. A lot of these are just generalized, more so blanketed kind of statements about things that highly narcissistic people are prone to do or tend to do. I mean, based off the signs of narcissism, it would make sense that they would do a lot of these particular things to, of course, attract more attention. On social media, similarly, when you're digging through all of these apps on their phone, a lot of them choose to remain single on these accounts. And they may or may not let you know this. You may or may not see this. And a lot of times they keep it hidden from other people, that they do, in fact, have a spouse, significant other, what have you. Some narcs choose to keep their entire profile as private. I'm not sure I really ever understood the whole point and purpose of having a profile, but it's private. I mean, unless you're some kind of celebrity, what are you doing that like others can't see? And maybe if others can't see it, perhaps you shouldn't be posting it or saying it. I don't know. I guess that's just me. Some narcissists, though, are quite secretive about social media. And as far as I'm concerned, the more private somebody is with their social media, the more juicy secrets that lie within. If you'd like to talk to a fellow survivor one-on-one, get some help for what you're going through, you can always send an email to BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com to set up appointments for those private sessions with me. We all know a narc loves an entourage of people around them at all times, and they usually keep all of these people, or a lot of these people, in that handy little cell phone. Dozens, hundreds, if not thousands of people waiting for them at their fingertips to text and call and get into something with. No real attention seeker could help themselves than to amass a large social media following. Blocking and unblocking is also common as you dig through these social media apps. I've done videos about blocking and shared my stance on how childish it is. I won't get into all of that. I guess blocking is supposed to hurt people. I don't know. Anybody can block me if they want to. That's fine. I don't care if you ate a ham sandwich last Tuesday. Get over yourself. But blocking is done to cause people to freak out and panic, and you'll never know as you go through these profiles, through all their social media, who they're blocking or why or what's happening. Different people are blocked on different accounts and so on. From social media, we can move forward through dating apps. Other hidden apps might also be in their phone. Lots of apps and photos and videos and things can also be found in applications that say things like calculator or calendar. They can get a new folder and name the folder anything they want and have photos and things inside that they'll use to blackmail, that they will use to try to threaten people or try to use in court. It's also true on a tablet or on an actual PC. You're going to find a lot of those dating apps on their phone. Sometimes they're even hidden. They might have other hidden folders and things that you don't know about. There might be a folder with photos of you and it's listed under like antiques or something like that. Sometimes you just really never know what you're going to find in that phone if you don't have the advantage of being able to poke around on it. And more often than not, apps are consistently downloaded, uninstalled, and reinstalled when they need them to be. Like dating apps. I hear this all the time from people. Somebody had a fight with their narky partner, and 5 minutes later, the narc is back on Tinder. Well, damn, that must have been right in your recent download list, and you just downloaded it and got on some profile, some secondary dummy profile that you've probably had this whole time. And it's like these are always in the back of the narc's mind somewhere. As soon as this happens, I'll get this app. I'll go over here. I'll do this. In a lot of my research, I've discovered all kinds of apps and things that you can text on, that you can like talk to people on. If you use like Steam, for example, to play video games, you can have friends on there and you can chat with them. It's like really the possibilities to be able to find certain people to use them are just absolutely endless. And narcs also use certain apps that will dispense fake email addresses and phone numbers as well. And you can rest assured that ex-partners and other sources of supply are more than likely still in the contact list in the narc's cell phone. They'll be given different names in a lot of cases, or maybe just like initials. I've seen my own name like transmogrified into Jessie, Jesse, a male version of the name Jesse or Jess or what have you. If you do go through the contact list, you'll be told things like, oh, those are just friends. Those are certain family members I don't talk to, the third cousin twice removed. Oh, those numbers are old. Oh, I know that friend from school. And you might not even question some of these names because it might say, Ralph, second cousin, whatever. And you might not even question these things, but they're in the phone, in the contact list under secret names, code names, whatever. They might also be stored. I knew of a person who, in their notepad, they kept a list of people. It was almost like a little black book, so to speak, but it was in their notepad and it was actually stored under grocery list. So these things can absolutely happen. Narcs might also have a way to get into their phone that can only be used by them, facial recognition or fingerprint access. And something, I'm sorry, just has to be said for that. Now, there is a caveat here. Some people need those things. Some people have high level security clearance and shit like that. But the bus boy / girl at Olive Garden probably doesn't need a fingerprint scanner to get into their cell phone. Or if you're working at a furniture store or something like that, I don't even necessarily need something like that. I get it that phones get lost and phones get stolen and we do need to protect certain informations, but I just keep going back to maybe don't keep sensitive information on a little device that can fall out of your pocket, be misplaced, or hell, even thrown in the trash if someone is hasty enough. When somebody has the fingerprint scanner, the little pattern thing, facial recognition, it's like, no offense, you're not 007. Nobody probably wants your credit card with the $2.63 in credit you have on it. There's something going on. But to that point, there are common narc phone habits that can be sorted out pretty quickly that I kind of want to talk about here. Setting their phone face down on the table or on the arm of the sofa. It is huge when someone is setting their phone face down. I don't know a whole lot of people who really do that anymore because you can go in and silence a lot of your notifications. But when someone just sets their phone face down and they don't want you to see what's happening, that's pretty bad. That's a red flag. I can have my phone face up in front of everybody. No one's going to see anything tawdry or weird or what have you. Hiding cell phones in weird places, like hiding the phone under your pillow while you sleep at night. Mine did this. The narc I was with literally did this. Slept with the phone under the pillow, just about still grasped in their hand as they slept. And there was still a second phone that was for music. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And that's another thing I need to mention as I go on with this. Second cell phones. Now, some people have work phones. Some people do need 2 cell phones. Yeah, narcissists and toxic people are doing more than working on those secondary cell phones. That's all I'm saying. Really obvious red flags, like tilting their phone away from you when you try to look at them or you're sitting next to them having a conversation with you and they bring the top of the phone down towards them so you can't see it or they tilt it away from you. It's like, what are you doing? You're obviously hiding something. Another key red flag, you are never allowed to use their phone. Not even to take 5 seconds to Google how long do you bake a potato for or whatever. You cannot have that phone for 5 seconds unless, of course, you give them 5 minutes to probably clear out a bunch of shit they don't want you to see. It's, hey, can I use your phone? Oh, hold on a second. Delete, move. Yeah, okay, I guess here, now you can use it. Yeah, for 5 seconds before they're grabbing it back out of your hand like it's a kidney and they so desperately need one. Leaving the room to take a phone call. I'm not saying like for business or for work. Sometimes that's important. Sometimes information is a little sensitive. But when you tell me like your mom's calling or your brother's calling and you have to get up and like leave the room, like we live together, we share finances and like, your brother, sister, what have you calls and you have to like get up and leave the room. It's like, why can't you just sit here and say something? Because it's all ridiculous bullshit. They're talking to somebody who they probably even have in their phone as sister or brother, and you're not allowed to know that information. So, of course, as in all my videos, tell me what I missed. What else can you find when you dig around in a narcissist's cell phone? What other habits do they exhibit when they're hiding these things from you in their phone? Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.